So I, 35M, recently moved into a peaceful lakefront property I inherited from my grandfather. The cabin sits on 2 acres of land with a private dock, fire pit area, and direct lake access that my grandfather spent years getting permits for. It's a quiet slice of heaven, and I was looking forward to a summer of relaxation, fishing, and solo kayaking. But as with most things in life, peace doesn't last long when entitled people are around. Enter Karen. Yes, her actual name. Early 60s, bleach blonde bob, permanently pursed lips, and a voice that sounds like she's been chain-smoking since the Nixon administration. She's the self-appointed queen of the local HOA, a voluntary HOA, mind you, which means I didn't have to join. Guess who took that option? Yep, me. About 2 weeks after I moved in, I get a knock on my door around 8 a.m. I open it to find Karen standing on my porch with a clipboard, sunglasses, and a look like she just sucked on a lemon. Karen: "Hi, I'm Karen, president of the Lakeside Neighbors Association. Welcome. You must be the new owner of the McIntyre cabin." Me: "Hey, thanks. Yep, I just moved in a couple of weeks ago." Karen, squinting: "So you didn't attend the neighborhood mixer last Saturday?" Me: "Nope, didn't know it was happening." Karen: "Well, we left a flyer at the mailbox." Mind you, I hadn't even had my mailbox officially registered yet. Karen: "Anyway, I wanted to stop by and give you our welcome packet." She hands me a manila folder with pamphlets, a neighborhood code of conduct, and an HOA sign-up form. I skim through it and say politely, "Thanks, but I don't think I'll be joining. I'm not really into group stuff." Her face tightens. Karen: "Well, the association strongly encourages all homeowners to participate for the benefit of the community." Me: "I understand, but I'm not interested. The cabin is private property, and I'm happy taking care of it myself." Cue the frosty smile. Karen: "Well, I guess we'll see you around then." And just like that, she disappeared down the steps. I figured that was the end of it. Spoiler, it wasn't. About a month later, I'm working on some repairs to the dock when Karen shows up unannounced again. Karen: "Hey there. I noticed your dock is in great condition." Me: "Thanks. My grandfather built it. I just did some reinforcement work." Karen: "Well, funny thing. The HOA picnic is this Saturday, and unfortunately, the community dock is under maintenance. We were wondering if we could use your dock instead." Me: "Sorry, but no. I'm going to be out kayaking and fishing that day, and I don't want a big group on my dock when I'm not here." Karen: "It's just for a few hours, and the neighbors would really appreciate it." Me: "Still no. It's private property." Karen's smile vanished like a light switch. Karen: "You do realize you're the only one on the lake refusing to contribute to community events, right?" Me: "I don't recall agreeing to contribute. Like I said, I'm not in the HOA." Karen didn't say a word, just turned around and stomped off. Here's where it escalates from mild annoyance to full-on crazy. That Saturday, I purposely made plans to be gone most of the day. When I returned around 5 p.m., I found 8 people lounging on my dock. 2 were in beach chairs, 3 were swimming, and someone had the audacity to hook up a portable speaker playing country music. I was stunned. I parked, walked straight to the dock, and said, "Excuse me, but who told you that you could be here?" A woman lounging in a straw hat looked up. "Oh, Karen said it was okay. She said you wouldn't mind." Me: "Well, Karen was wrong. This is private property. You all need to leave, now." Cue muttering and eye-rolling. One guy in cargo shorts actually said, "It's just a dock, man. Chill." I pulled out my phone and said, "Okay, well, the sheriff can explain trespassing laws better than I can." That got them moving. Karen showed up 10 minutes later, clearly having been called by someone in the group. Karen: "I can't believe you'd embarrass me like that." Those were my guests. Me: "Exactly. Your guests, not mine. You don't get to give away access to my dock like it's a public park." Karen: "You're unbelievable. We try to build a sense of community, and you act like some kind of hermit hoarding resources." Me: "It's not hoarding if it's mine. Get off my property." I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The next week, I noticed odd things happening. Trash left at the end of my driveway. My mailbox door left hanging open. My trash bins knocked over. At first I thought it was raccoons, until I checked my trail cam. Lo and behold, I caught Karen's little lapdog friend, some guy named Bruce who calls himself the grounds coordinator for the HOA, dumping a bag of garbage in my ditch. I confronted him, and he got all flustered and mumbled something about mistaken address. Yeah, sure. I printed the footage, filed a police report for illegal dumping, and sent copies to the HOA board, even though I wasn't a member. Petty? Maybe. But satisfying? Oh yes. Apparently that really set Karen off, because a week later, I got a certified letter in the mail from the HOA with a list of fines I had supposedly accumulated. $150 for disrupting community events, $200 for refusal to comply with lakefront access expectations, $100 for inappropriate behavior toward guests. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my coffee. I wrote a single-page response. Dear HOA, I am not a member of your association. I do not recognize your authority, your fines, or your fabricated complaints. Any further attempts to harass me or violate my property rights will result in legal action. Sincerely, the guy who owns the dock. I also CC'd the county attorney's office, just in case they tried to push it further. Fast forward to this week, I came home from grocery shopping to find a for sale sign in Karen's yard. Turns out, several of the newer residents were sick of her drama and voted to dissolve the voluntary HOA entirely. With no power base left, Karen packed up and left. Her last act of defiance? Leaving a passive-aggressive note in my mailbox that said, "Enjoy your precious dock. Hope it keeps you warm at night." I framed it and hung it in the cabin's bathroom. Makes me smile every morning. HOA president thought she could use my private lake dock for her events. I said no. She retaliated with trespassing, passive-aggressive nonsense, and fake fines. I responded with trail cams, legal warnings, and complete disinterest. She eventually sold her house and left. I still have my dock and my peace.